Hello, Mixed Nut Cases and Dog Days of Podcasting listeners. This is Nuke Joss, and this is my Dog Days entry for the 23rd. Yes, the 23rd. So I might do a second one. We'll see. I have a friend coming tonight, and we are going to hang out, and I would love to get her voice on the podcast because she is a near and dear friend that I have known possibly even longer than I've known Tech. I might have known her sooner. I'm not sure. But equally as long. We met all in the same place, the same Star Trek chat room, and I'm very excited. So I will not use her real name, but I will say Baron is coming down to my hotel tonight, and we're going to hang out. And I haven't seen her in at least 15 years. I think it might have been 16 years. I think I haven't seen her since my wedding. So I'm super excited to get to hang out with her tonight. Today I did my 2 sessions. They went fantastically. Everything went well. I was so excited. No issues with the hotel internet. I was a little afraid of that. All the sound was sounding good. So everything went well. And then when I finished up, I was meeting a former coworker. And I will say, hello, Robert, because he might be listening to this now. Because now that we don't work together, I told him, he mentioned the podcast, and I gave him the name because we don't work together anymore, and he doesn't work in my field. And I can easily just say, hi, you're a friend now, instead of having to, kind of secret it away and keep it completely separate. I really don't have people that I work with that I tell about the podcast, just so that I don't have to worry about that sort of thing. I don't really talk about work. The most I say is that I present, I'm on camera all day, but I don't really go into the details there. I don't have to say that I don't speak for my day job, but it's very easy when you don't share the same name in your broadcasting as when you are in real life, because I don't have to make any of those disclaimers. Nobody knows what my day job is, so nobody is going to think that I speak for my day job. So that's what I love about that. We went to this fantastic Thai place. Apparently it's a Michelin star. There was a bit of a wait, and that was okay. They got there before I did, which meant that they put us on the list. So it was Robert and his lovely wife, and we had a really nice meal. We ordered family style. We ordered a couple of different things. What was it? We got mussels, curry mussels. It was like a pineapple curry. It was amazing. I could drink the curry with a straw if I wanted to. And then we got this really good tom yum noodle soup that we all shared. Everything in that was good. The noodles were meh, but the soup broth was amazing. The vegetables were amazing. The shrimp was amazing. We also got this crab fried rice, very, very yummy. And I feel like there's something else that I missed. Oh, and then we got a red curry with chicken, and that was amazing. And we were all just absolutely demolishing this. And the thing that was so neat is his wife, as she's eating the mussels, she went back and she pulled out the mussel that attaches the mussel to the shell. And instantly I said, oh, you're my kind of girl. Because very rarely do I find other people that do that. And when I see that, I get so excited because that's what I do. And everyone kind of looks at me side-eye if I do that, but it's like the size of a bay scallop. I mean, it's delicious meat. Why are you letting it go? So seeing that made me feel like, all right, we're on the same plane here. We talked a little bit about, work drama stuff, but really we were focusing on, just kind of chatting, talking about geeky topics. Turns out he's a geek, which is awesome. We talked about, lives and things like that, and we just had a really good time. It's a shame that I live so far away, and it's a shame that it took all this time. We worked together for years and we never got together, but we got together. I met his lovely wife. We had a great time. I'm going to consider them friends now. There's a difference between work friends and friends, but nope, now friends. You know my other name, and it's legit. But we had such a fantastic time. I am telling you, I am digging Long Beach. It is really nice. I am digging California. I am just realizing I haven't had a taco yet. I need to get tacos before I leave. That is a definite thing. I travel through food. This is just what I do. But yeah, so this is where we are. I'm just getting a couple of things done for work, finishing up work, and then Baron is going to be coming down, and we're going to have some fun. There's a place called the Hangar where there's lots of different food places, so we should be able to find something vegetarian down there, and we're just going to hang out all night, and then I leave bright and early. I actually am flying through Chicago, so I don't know how long my layover is. I wonder if I'll be able to do a report from Chicago. We'll see how that goes. This has been a good trip. I will say, I don't mind the traveling. It's not so bad when it's like this. The last time I was traveling, not this year, but previous years, every time I would travel, they would send me somewhere and I'd have to drive like 5 hours to get to wherever I was going. And it was miserable and I never got to see anything. But being able to see some of the places that I'm visiting, it's really neat. And I definitely have to come back to California. I have to come back and explore some more. And Robert did say he would take me to the filming locations of all the Back to the Future stuff, and that is exciting. So, all right, I'm here for that. I think I said yesterday that I went to like Dexter and Top Gun filming locations, and so those little things they're a lot of fun, and definitely got to come back. I get it. Do I want to move to California? Maybe not. Still a little scared about the whole earthquake thing, but also it's completely the other side of the country from everybody I know. But I'm good with this. I'm having a good time. There's something about, and it might just be my perspective, that everywhere I go, there's always something neat to see. There's always something kind of exciting. I'm not a big fan of Florida, mostly because I was trapped in Florida for a couple of months, but generally, and that's no shame to Florida, by the way. If you're trapped living out of a hotel for 2 months straight, you would hate the area as well. I don't even mind the palm trees here because they look nothing like the palm trees in Florida. You had to be careful of palm trees in Florida. I assume I do here as well, but if you park under a palm tree and a coconut falls on your car, your insurance doesn't cover that. I was not stuck with that, but I was paranoid about it happening because it did happen to a coworker. This was like 20 years ago. Anyway, so yeah, this is just me checking in, talking about my day. And somebody was talking about, I haven't listened to Dave Slusher's episode, but how he put out his first episode and he wasn't even calling it a podcast. He was calling it an audio blog. And I think if I had first heard of podcasts as an audio blog, I probably would have been more interested in them at the time because I was very into blogging back then and I loved audio things. But the first person who introduced me to podcasting introduced it to me as, Adam Curry's podcast, and the way he described it, I just thought, I am so uninterested in that. I never listened to Adam Curry. This is not me being a hipster or anything. That was not the train I ever got on. I started with audio dramas and podcast fiction and Sci-Fi Dig was a big one that I listened to all the way through its entirety. And that was just talking about sci-fi and stuff. And then there was Strangely Literal, which was Tabs' podcast. She's not doing Dog Days this year, but she's done it in previous years. And it's actually one of the reasons that I think Tabs and the Encaffeinated one are the big reasons that I came to Dog Days. The Signal and things like that, like getting into Slice of Sci-Fi, getting into those things, that's where my introduction to podcasting was. So I would say, while I don't think I've been listening to podcasts for 20 years, give it about 6 months and it'll be 20 years. I think it was like early 2005 is when I started listening to podcasts. So I was a little late to the game. But I've still been listening to podcasts for over 20 years. I mean, I will be over 19 years now, we'll say. I'm getting there. And I didn't start podcasting until 2011. Well, I contributed to other people's podcasts pretty early as 2005, 2006. But I didn't have my own podcast until 2011. So I definitely was late to the game there. But it's been a really fun part of my life, and I love this dog days feeling because it is a lot more like audio blogs. We are really getting, one of the things I love about the Dog Days Challenge is we're kind of getting back to the root of what podcasting was like when I first got into podcasting. And nobody's worried about crazy fancy setups. A lot of times we're not even, some people don't even have sound effects or credits. Some people are just on and say, this is what I'm talking about. All right, I'm done. And then they move on to the next thing. And I'm in for it. I am in for that 100%. I don't think I could sustain it all the time, but it is something I look forward to every single August. So thank you, everyone, for being part of Dog Days, whether as producers or listeners. And thanks for sticking around with me throughout my podcast. It's been a blast. Nutty Bites is produced by Nimlas Studios under a Creative Commons Attribution No Commercial Non-Derivatives 3.0 International License. That means you can't change it without my permission. You can share it and send it to your friends. Just link back to me, my site, and everything. We live at nimlas.org, which has links to everything social media, including facebook.com/group/nuttybites and patreon.com/nukejoss, or call 347-NUTTY42.